I mean, I just started now, so I mean, you know, I got this open too. So just in case if you want to know what the original Aborigines look like, got these open. You know what I'm saying? Got these open, so just in case if you get any idea that these people that they showing you on top on this thing right here is Aborigines, you know. So I'm gonna get with this, man. We're gonna do this, man. All right. Well, let me see what's going on.
Yeah, peace to everybody, man. Peace, bliss to everybody. We're gonna be trying to enlighten people on this American Indians encyclopedia. Contributions to the world, 15,000 years of invention and innovation. So yeah, man.
And just check it out, everybody. Share this channel, share this, man, because this is real shit, man. This is not no this video right here, man, is a heavyweight jam. So this video right here, man, share it, man, because I mean this is your culture. People ask us what's our culture, what's the culture that we lost and everything. This book right here tells us what some of the stuff. Oh.
Yo.
I know, hold up. All right, my bad, y'all. But yeah, this is our culture, man. So definitely share it, man. Let people know you in the house, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. Where Chief Holiday? Peace, Chief, man. Where you been? Chief been on a roll, man. I know Chief been busy. He ain't hit me up all week. Well, I spoke to Chief earlier this week, though. But peace to everybody in the chat room, man. We about to get through this. This is a heavyweight jam. We got a lot to build on. As you see, I got the brother AP Power, soon to be joined by brother Jaguar Omek. And this is we're gonna be touching on encyclopedia, the American Aborigines' contribution to the world. All right. Now look, just in case anybody get any thought that these are the American Indians, we're not talking about them. We're talking about the Aborigines. We're talking about. I guess as soon as it come in.
This is cool.
Every time I got my screen open, this shit always does this. Just give me a second, y'all, so I can just share this. I don't know why it's every fucking time I open my screen up, they're always fucking with me. All right, just in case you want to know. And look, I'm gonna pull this picture because somewhere down the line we're gonna show you snow sneakers, snowshoes, and just to let you know what the people. What the fuck? Okay, all right. Let me just bear with me, people. Well, let me go back to the snow. Yeah, and like I said, definitely share this. It's gonna be a very informative joint. Like I said, man, this is our culture. We here, and we not. These are not no fucking Aborigines. These are fucking Spaniards that they just put up here. So understand that they giving all our contributions to these mongoloids. That's why I made the video the other day about Nike showing you anybody should be upset anytime they mention your word Aborigine and these Native Americans in the same sentence. Okay, and just to touch on that real quick, I actually called Nike.com today, and I'm trying to get them to remove that shit, man, or at least show who is the Aborigine community. You know what I'm saying? Because you showing on the screen, you got two Mongoloids. You got a Mongoloid and a European. Ain't no European, no Indians. Okay, because we know you ain't supposed. The Europeans ain't supposed to be here because none of the Aborigines accepted them here like that. So I mean, be an Indian. So so this is basically what we're gonna be going in. American Indian contribution to the world. 15 years of inventions and innovations. All right. Now understand there's some things that we did also that's not in here, but we did them as African Americans. So think about, understand some of the other inventions we made. They're not listed in here because we're not supposed to be Indians. So we're gonna get into this, man. AP. AP must have stepped away for a minute.
Nah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, well, we just get busy, man. Let's get busy. It's a heavyweight jam, y'all. So, like I said, man, we don't even need to go into read none of this shit, man, because it's pretty self-explanatory. Matter of fact, you know what? Fuck it. Let me read a little bit of this, right? Fuck it. Let me read this. All right. So what follows is a collection of contributions American Aborigines have made to the world. The world contribution is defined in the American Heritage College Dictionary, second edition, as to the common fund or common purpose. American Indians from the Arctic Circle to the tip of America, South America, donated many gifts to the world, common fund of knowledge in the areas of agriculture, science, technology, medicine, transportation, agriculture, psychology, military strategy, government, language. These contributions take the form of inventions, philosophies, and political and social systems. For the most part, until the late 19th century, they remain unrecognized outside of the discipline of anthropologists and archaeologists. People throughout the world enjoy the fruits of Aborigine American invention, such as rubberized raincoats, popcorn, hammocks, it say, and drug queens. It say without being aware of their origins. At the same time, textbooks, novels, and later movies and television portrayed the first people of the Americas as primitive, who was incapable of complex ideas and inventions. Immediately after initial contact, Europeans from Christopher Columbus on wrote detailed descriptions about the accomplishment of the American Aborigines they encountered. They say often they judge these accomplishments as being superior to anything in the old world. Nonetheless, as a general rule, within 20 years after the contact with the conquistadors and colonists, alike denied the Aborigines whom they had begun to call savages. We responsible for these discoveries. They were so certain that the Aborigine people were incapable of discovering the technology they have encountered, that soon after the voyage of Columbus, they began spreading rumors throughout Europe that the Americas were the site of settlement for a lost colony of Christians or the lost tribe of Israel. Interesting. These rumors persisted in popular culture until well into the 20th century. Later colonists and missionaries in North America Southeast speculated that the Cherokee or the Aniawanya, it said, whose way of life they deemed civilized, spoke a version of Hebrew or Phoenician. The gig is up. Spoke a version of Hebrew or Phoenician, proving that these people were not Indians. Early European settlers in what became Virginia theorized that the Welsh prince Madoc had wandered to the New World in the 13th century to give the Aborigine people the technology they possessed. With non-Indians viewed the mounds at the Cahokia, an enormous city built. It wasn't a mound, it was a fucking pyramid. An enormous, and these fucking devils tore it down. An enormous city built by the Mississippians, people that had flourished in about AD AD, 1100 AD, near the site of modern St. Louis. They refused to believe that Aborigine people had created the city. Anthropologists determined that it has been built. It has, hold up. Has been built by the early vanished race of people that had been vastly superior and completely unrelated to the Aborigines living at that time of contact. By the 18th century, the American history textbook denied the Aborigines possession even a modicum of intellect, of intelligence, or knowledge. These extreme change of attitude about the American Indian intellect was not coincidental, nor was it based on reality of the American Aborigine intellect accomplishment, which included the Adine road system, more extensive than that of Rome, and more sophisticated Mesoamerican and North American surgical techniques unheard in the old world. Rather, it was grounded in a real immediate need to justify conquest with a stroke of the pen. The belief that civilization and the Aborigines were inherently incapable and future of Europeans to understand the nature of tribal society meant that there was little possibility of peaceful coexistence, and that the image of the Indians as a savage was used to rationalize conquest and conversion. They say wrote Catlin G. Calloway. It say in the crown of the Cumulet, British Indian Relations, 1783, 1815. I'm gonna read a little bit more. All right, it's saying, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna read some more. Let's just keep. Let me see how much more it is before. Yeah, this is a lot, man. I ain't reading all this, man. We're gonna get into it, man. It's a lot to go through. But I'm gonna put the link in the description. Just if I don't put the link in the description, somebody please put a comment and remind me, okay? Okay, I'll be busy, I'll be having a lot. This shit is this book is the shit right here, yo. And everybody needs this. Okay, everybody who trying to tap into their Aborigine culture, listen, you're gonna learn a lot of stuff through this book, all right? And guess what? You got your boy the Tanchan, AP, and Jaguar Omek, and we're gonna run through this, and we're gonna go from the first to the lab. We're gonna touch on mainly most of the most of the more amazing accomplishments. You understand what I'm saying? So we're gonna do this, man. So like I said, share this out if you can. I normally don't tell y'all to share nothing, but if you can share this out, this is a heavyweight jam, and we need to get this out. We need people to see. So when you run across people who want to debate you and say what was created in the Americas after you see this video or the series of videos, right? Because it's gonna have to be a series of videos, okay? So make sure you send this out. Make sure you get people to watch this, man, so y'all can definitely learn. Because I learned a lot from this, all right? And this coming from the Atonch one, all right? So we're gonna go from pretty much A to Z until we get to the most of stuff I wrote down. All right, you ready, AP? You're
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
all right. So these are, like I said, I'm not going to touch on. We're going to read some of this stuff right here. These are some of the accomplishments of abacus. I don't know what that is, but abacus is a portable circulating device using a frame with a rod. Let's say that are shrugged with beads. Let's say perform mathematics circulation using a abacus made of maize kernel instead. So I think the abacus is the thing that you see in school that you have like the beads on, go from one side, you put one on one side. Everybody that had these in school, the little, and people got them now for their children now. They had the little beads on the line, and you take one over. This how kids learn to count or whatever, right? Abstract art, okay? Say abstract art. Okay, 1930 present. All right, so we're just gonna keep it moving with some of this stuff. I'm gonna get to the main, most of the heavy stuff. All right. So I mean, if you see something in between that you want to talk about, definitely let me know and we can get into it. All right. So we're gonna keep it moving through this. All right. So we got agriculture experiments, agriculture, agave. All right. So if you want to touch, we want to touch on agriculture. All right, so it say 8,000 to 7,000 BC. Mesoamerica, the Andean tropical forest, North America. Remember, we're trying to find our culture in North America, southeast and northeast. All right, it say, and well, we not really Southwest people like that. Most of our people was in the South, Northeast. Like I said, from Nova Scotia through the Great Plains, all the way through the Mississippi, all the way down through Central, South America, and the conjoining islands. All right. So it's saying agriculture, the science of cultivating the soil to produce crops. It said arose independently in 4 areas of the world. 2 of them in the Western Hemisphere. In Meso and South America, farming based on corn, squash, and beans began in the flood plains of the Tahacan Valley. It's of what is now Mexico. It is about 8 to 7,000 BC. 8,000 BC plus 2,000 years will be 10,000 years ago. At about the same time, manioc and sweet potatoes cultivated arose in the tropical forest of what is known as Brazil, Guatemala. Okay, so this is just give you a little touch on that. All right. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna read everything because we got a lot to get through. So what you I mean, I'm gonna scan through this AP. So just let me know if you
Yeah,
see anything you want to talk about. All
yeah.
right.
I'm gonna go in on a kneeling. Let me screen share for y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I was supposed to be in screen share. Peace, Jaguar, big bro. What's
Peace,
going on?
peace. Y'all already
Yo,
know, man.
let me ask you a question. Peace, Jaguar. Let me ask you a question. Do you want me just to go through your words so you can see it on my screen, or you can't see it? You can't read it from my screen.
Can you see mine? Can y'all see my screen?
I don't think they're gonna be able to. Well, they probably be able to. Let me see. Let me see something.
All you gotta do is click on it. You can click on whoever screen speaking, whoever icon, and
All
then
right.
we do it like it.
Where yours? All right. So yeah, I can see yours.
All right,
Um.
cool. I was gonna go in on and kneeling, right?
So
Uh,
let me get down to that part. All right. So go ahead. Let me get down to that part, and then what page is that?
uh,
Almanac. We can't go past almanac. Cannot go past that. All right. So I'm gonna touch on almanac. We also got allspice right here, which is known in the Caribbean. But we got almanac. It say 600 AD. Mesoamerican cultures. Almanacs are books containing astronomy and meteorological information. Many facets of Mesoamerican life was influenced by the almanac that was based on observation of the planet Venus. Now, I believe the Earth is flat, so that's a whole nother story. These almanac invented by the Maya, who culture arose in Mesoamerica about 3,500 years ago. It said were invented independently of similar books in other parts of the world. European culture written almanacs at a much later date, before AD. I mean 1150 AD. No Pacific mention of the almanac exists in Europe.
What you call I was up watching.
Mesoamerica Mesoamerica almanacs were made up of 260-day cycles called day counts. They say each of the days was assigned a meaning based on a circle of 20 days name and 13 numbers. When the 260-day long count ended, the cycle repeated itself. It's a some ethel astronomers, Eno astronomers believe that the number systems may have been based on the length of human gestation. It's a because the first day of the almanac is dedicated to Venus, a plausible explanation for the number 260 is that almanacs were based on circulation evolving a cycle of Venus, an important planet in Mesoamerica astronomy. All right, so let me go down. Let me see if it's a little bit more touching on this. All right, so it says the sacred almanacs were gathered into books, some of which survived burning by the Spanish conquistadors. They say anthropologists believe Mesoamerican books were first made in about 600 AD and continued after contact. The Codex Bergaga, it say Bagia, I'm sorry, Bagia, it say is a pre-contact ritual almanac that survived Spanish book burning. See, they was burning our shit, man. You see what I'm saying? These devils was burning our shit. It said special calendars, priests who understood which deities govern which days interpreted almanacs like these, which the Aztecs called Tinalpahali. I don't y'all already know I'll be butchering shit. The almanac was used to name children based on their birthdays, set the dates and rituals, and determine which days might be lucky and unlucky for certain activities like modern horoscopes. Sometimes they were used to divine the future. Some Mayan people continue to use similar almanacs today. All right, so where you was at, AP? AP.
If he ain't got his, yeah, I know I was gonna hit right here to the aquaculture, man.
All right, but we got. I mean, when I'm touching, you see, we got amputation,
Yeah, all that.
like that. That's
Go ahead, hit
surgery.
that. Go ahead, hit it. Go
No,
ahead, hit
no,
it.
that's in surgery. That's in surgery. So when we get down to S, I'll touch on that. But all right, now we got anesthesia too, anesthetics. So some of this stuff, man, we need. I don't know what I should have wrote some of this stuff down right here because I started at basketball. So I mean, do you want to read on this right here on anesthetics? That's on
Yeah,
page
I can do it.
13. All right, let's get with it. It's on page 13 at the bottom left.
All right. Let me get it right quick. I ain't too far
Yeah,
from it
man.
already.
Yeah, man. Get y'all pen and paper out, y'all. Real talk. And we can get y'all the
Yeah.
sources at the end of each one that we do. So y'all can go double check our work.
All
But
right,
it's right here, dog.
we on anesthetics right now. That's on page 13, y'all. So I mean, maybe we want to get all on the same page, just so, or you have your page where you want to start at AP, because like I said, I some of the stuff I glanced over, but I said I was going to touch on it anyway. But these like anesthetics is something we need to know because these devils then took all our shit and
That,
lied and told us that we have made no accomplishments, man. And this shit is sad, man. So we on anesthetics right now. Brother Jaguar Omex gonna be building on this.
all right, let's get it. All right, anesthetics calculated 1000 BC, Mesoamerican, South American, and then North American, Northeast cultures. All right, so anesthetics are substances that cause partial or total loss of sensation or loss of consciousness. They were used by pre-Columbian physicians in the Americas for a number of medical problems, such as bone fractures, gout, rheumatism, and neuralgia. American Indians also use anesthetics for surgery, including brain surgery, which it says see also trepanation as early as 1000 BC. Somebody got some background feed.
All right, hold. Let me. Yeah, we gonna have to mute the mics, man, because this is a real serious joint. So let me see. All right, so I'm gonna mute my mic.
All right. Okay. So yeah, okay. American Indians also use anesthetics for surgery, including brain surgery. As early as 1000 BC, coca, peyote, and datura, which it says see also arthritis treatments, are three of the many anesthetics American Indians used to numb feelings of pain. Coca, or cocaine as it is known today, was used both as an external and an internal anesthetic by Inca physicians who understood the drug's anesthetic property. The Inca culture arose about 1000 AD in what is now Peru. When they used coca externally, they prepared it as a poultice and applied it to the painful areas of the patient's body. Inca physicians also had their patients ingest coca before any surgery. Not until Carl Kohler's 1884 experiments in Germany did the non-Indian world cocaines. Anesthetic properties. Okay. Soon after, the modern medical community stumbled upon cocaine's ability to suppress sensation. The plant derived drug became popular among physicians. The Aztec, who established an empire in Mesopotamia in what is now Mexico in about AD 1100, employed peyote as an anesthetic for many years before contact with Europeans. Aztec physicians used a lotion made from the root of the plant for health problems such as sore feet and headaches. Taken internally, a decoction of peyote served as a fever reducer. Indians of southern Arizona and northern Mexico use peyote to dull the pain of large open wounds, snake bites, and fractures. They ground the root of the peyote plant, prepared it as a poultice, and applied it to the injured area. Peyote's anesthetic properties were so effective that in the 1800s, U.S. Army surgeons used the plant as a painkiller as well. All right. That's I read this little part right. Indians living in the area of what is now Virginia used Jamestown weed or Jimson weed, as it was later called. Like coca and peyote, this plant was used both externally and internally. Indian healers ground the root to form a plaster that was applied to wounds, bruises, and cuts. They had their patients take the plant internally as an anesthetic prior to setting broken bones and fractures, as well as for general debility and paralysis. After contact with American Indians, colonial doctors adopted Jimson weed as an anesthetic. So there you have it, y'all. It's got plenty more. Maybe I should just go ahead and finish this. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one, y'all. Prior to the mid 1800s, non-Indian doctors who performed surgery did not have effective anesthetics. Hmm. As a result, surgery was often both a last resort and a barbaric practice. Some physicians resorted to knocking patients out by hitting them in the jaw.
Damn.
Before 1807 and the discovery of ether, alcohol, and opium were the most reliable ways non-Indian physicians had to numb their patients' pain. The high dosages of alcohol or opium required to kill pain sometimes killed the patients. Man,
Damn. That's a
yo,
heavyweight joint right there, bro. So you see the
that's super
contributions.
drunk.
They not talking about. They ain't got no coca plants in Egypt. You understand what I'm
Come
saying?
on, man.
They ain't got no coca plants in Egypt. So what the fuck is they telling you right here? That's a heavyweight. That's heavyweight right there. We just. I'm not reading. I'm just gonna go. We got animal calls. We already know animal domestications. Um, we're just gonna go through. Where you was at? All right, we right here. You said a kneeling. AP.
Yeah, I
You're
think that's what he said, though.
Yeah. I'm on here. My bad. I keep muting my mic, man. My bad. But
all
yeah,
right.
I'm right here.
All right, let's get where you want to read. Run through a kneeling real quick.
Yeah, I'll run through it right quick.
All right.
North American Paleo Indian, Mesoamerica, South America, Andrian culture. Annealing is a process of heating metal until it's red hot, and then slowly allowing it to cool in order to make it soft and malleable. About 7,000 years ago, Paleo Indians of the Great Lake regions of North America discovered the process that allowed them more versatility than that of the previous people that come technology, such as cold hammering, bending, and rolling, all of which cause metal and loses tensile strength and become more brittle. Although other cultures use annealing, recent evidence. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me scroll up. Recent evidence points to the fact that these early Americans were the first metal workers in the world and the first to invent annealing. James Maxwell is one of the authors of the book, wrote in America's fascinating Indian heritage for decades. Archaeologists had examined the well made Wisconsin artifacts of copper, including chisels, spear points, axes, and knives, and pronounced them extraordinary since they must have been made in the 7th or 6th century BC. But in recent years, carbon 14 testing has yielded astonishing results. An old copper culture of the Great Lake area actually flourished between 6 and 7,000 years ago. Mm. So
That's us. That's us. The Great Lakes. The Great Lakes is by it's like Chicago and Illinois around there,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Detroit. That's
Detroit.
that's
Yeah,
us. That's
yeah,
us. So
fact.
let's represent. Definitely represent for the Aborigines of North America. You wanted
Yeah,
to
so
finish that, or you want to keep it moving?
yeah, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna finish it up right here just a little bit. But what it's saying is we started these things roughly about 7,000 years ago, and it's argued and it's undeniable now that we are the first people to ever do metal working. We are the first blacksmiths, the first, right? So that's what we introduced and contributed to the world. And let me get down where we was. Pre-Columbian Indians of Central and South America also developed a working knowledge of annealing, including the Chavan, who lived in what is now Peru from 1000 BC to 200 BC. Right, so they learned from the people of North America and the Great Lake regions, is what it's pretty much telling you. Who lived in archaeologists consider the Mohawkins to have been the most sophisticated metal workers in America because annealing creates stronger and more flexible metal and process allowed pre-Columbian American metal workers to create highly detailed objects from metal such as jewelry, tweezers, and scalpels.
Damn. Oh my God.
So,
So let me.
so, so,
My
so
God.
what it's saying is the tools the Egyptians used to embalm, take out the brain, and different little metal tools that they use to do their mummifications only came from the inventions from the Indians, right? From the Great Lake area. We are the first wood metal workers. So anything that had to do with metal working came from our idea and us expressing it through annealing, the process of annealing. So yeah, that's
Damn.
it, man. We go to sources
That,
right here.
that's a heavyweight jam right there, bro. Because you know what? So now, when Garfield or one of them try to say that, oh, it was invented. You remember on Friday and shit when Pinky first seen Craig and shit, and he was telling that nigga to shut up and shit. That's how you talk. That's how I be talking to one of these African scholars,
Right.
nigga. Like, shut up. We just proved it. You know what I'm saying? So well, let's keep it moving, man. Because this is a heavyweight jam. Like I said, man. You want to learn your culture? You should be right here. I got what? How many people we got viewing this? We got
I'm not.
100. We got 100. We got 101 viewers. You know what I'm saying? But when jokers be talking about nothing, I have almost 200 people watching it. So I mean, this is our culture right here, man. So this is real important. You know, people could come back and check it out. but it's real important. So share it, man. Definitely share this, because this is not up for debate, because these people, we got sources and everything. So we're gonna keep it moving. So antibiotic medicine. Pre-contact Mesoamerican, North American, Southwest, Northwest coast, and Northeast culture. Substances that destroy bacteria, microorganisms, some which cause disease, are called antibiotics. The Aztecs used sap from the majority varieties of agave to dress wounds, demonstrating a clear knowledge of its ability to prevent and cure infections. Although penicillin was discovered in 1927, modern medicine science did not begin treating curing infections with this antibiotic until 1941. Even a very small dose substance contained in the magai, it's a provide an antibiotic environment by increasing cells osmosis. It said the movement of water through the cell membranes of bacteria. When membrane, such as a cell membrane, separates into two solutions that contain different amounts of all particles, water passes from the solution with the fewest particles to that containing the most. It say the presence of magai sap literally pulls water from the bacteria, which are composed of mainly water and proteins, causing them to die from dehydration. Pre-Columbian Aztec physicians also added salt to maguey sap to enhance its effectiveness against bacteria that was resistant to the maguey alone. All right, so I mean, like I said, man, that's deep right there. That we're gonna move through. All right, so um what we got? We got antiviral medicine. I mean, yeah, you know what?
Uh,
I mean, y'all, we want to touch on that. Somebody want to touch on this? The antiviral medicine.
Go ahead.
I mean, okay, all right, I'll touch on a little bit of it. All right, so we got antiviral medicine. All right, so North American Great Plain culture. All right, so it's a viruses are diseases causing agents that reproduce within human cells that are so small that the electron microscope is required in order to view them. It say only in the last decade of the 20th century has medical research made breakthrough discoveries of a small number of antiviral drugs, including the interferon and azido. It's a azidotimine, that's AZT, to combat HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. It's a and to counter herpes. Although these tiny pathogens frustrate modern physicians for centuries, the Aborigines of northern and southern plains use a plant called echinacea. That's a this they you can get this in a tea form, or you can get it like in a I think coming in tea form now. They make it like an oil now, but it say to effectively treat viral infections. All right, so man, let's keep it moving. We're gonna go on to the next. Y'all do all right. Look,
Yeah, I'm
you
ready.
want to touch on this apartment complexes?
Yeah, I go in on the apartment complex. Uh, indigenous people from. I heard feedback.
Oh my! All right, let me move my mic. My bad.
You
My bad.
good?
All right, let me.
Indigenous people from tribes in both North America and Mesoamerica lived in groupings of multiple family dwellings that contained living quarters of families as well as an area shared in a common with other families. Although multiple families dwellings were built by the other cultures, American Indian constructed some of the largest and most impressive in the world. The residents in the first urban center in the New World built the oldest of such major complexes in America. The city Tocahonkin, whatever the fuck it is, y'all know what I'm saying. I highlighted, which was located in now central Mexico on the site of the New Mexico City. This city flourished in the 1000 year after AD, pretty much 1 AD. You feel me? And it is only Mesoamerican cities that have multiple family dwellings. Archaeologists who are unsure of who the people of Tehuacan were, where they come from, they and what happened to them. Hold on, let me see. Have found the remains of the block after block of one of the one-story uh, or adobe apartment building. The Nazi ancestors of the modern Paleo people built apartment complex farther to the North American. The Nazi lived in what is now New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado. A Nazi adobe cliff dwellings consist of hundreds of rooms. We'll go down just to show that what the apartments look like that they are describing. These are some of the depictions I read at the bottom of it. Multiple family dwellings in the first American apartment complexes were commonly throughout the Southwest, Tios Pueblos, till the occupied day. It, So listen, they are still occupied today. So these things was built in the first century AD. You see what I'm saying? They still being used by people in the area today. Still got running water in them, just like they did in the past. People still living in them right now. Watching cable TV on it right now today. It is a prime example of how the paleo style and architect invented by the Anunnaki who began building the constructions in the southeast of about 700 AD. This photographer was taken in 1941 by National Geographic Archives and Records Administration at the College Park.
Hmm. Indeed. That's interesting. Very interesting. So damn, yeah, see, I mean, like I said, this I read through this, man, and this like I was compelled to get reach out to these brothers, said we gotta do this, man. You know what I'm saying? I told these brothers, I said we gotta do this, man. We definitely gotta do it. I'm just gonna read, I'm not gonna read, I'm just gonna say Appaloosa horse breeding. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. Um unless Jaguar, if you wanna, if you see anything you want to go on, we can definitely touch on aqueducts. When y'all want to touch on that real quick.
Oh,
Aquaculture.
I was gonna hit on the aquaculture. Yeah, the
All right. Well,
aquaculture.
my bad, my bad. Well, we're going to the aqua. My bad. Go ahead. Whatever y'all whatever you say.
Yeah,
The
I thought about doing that horse breeding too, because I know some people into that too, man. So,
You want to touch on that? Touch on a
nah,
little bit.
I hit it after this or whatever. I ain't, it didn't matter, bro.
All right, whatever, man. Go ahead. It's on y'all.
All right, aquaculture pre-contact. This right here is real interesting, y'all. Okay, South American, Circum-Caribbean, Mesoamerican cultures. Okay, so they say the practice of raising food crops in water instead of soil is called aquaculture or aquaculture. The Mesoamerican Indians practiced raised bed agriculture with the Chinampas beginning as early as 1500 BC, which we read in agriculture. Okay, raised bed. In the process of mounding earth on lake beds and swamps, they dug extensive networks of canals. These canals became nutrient rich havens for fish, mollusks, and other aquatic life. Some archaeologists believe the fish were as well cared for as the crops that grew on the garden plots. Mm. The Maya, whose culture arose in about 1500 BC, and the Aztec, whose empire was established around 1100 AD, followed the same practice. One of the amazing feats of the Aztec Chinampas farmers was to turn salt water into fresh water by building an enormous dike that separated the salty water of the biggest lakes. Father Francisco de Garay, a contemporary observer, wrote, as the lakes of fresh water to the south poured their surplus water into the Lake of Mexico through the narrows of Cohuacan and Mexicazigo. Those waters spread through the western lake, the Lake of Mexico, and completely filled it. In this way, the basin of fresh water was converted into a fish pond and a home for all sorts of aquatic fowl. The Aztec also harvested blue-green algae from lakes and shaped it into bricks for dyeing. Algae, which is high in protein, was a staple in the Aztec diet. After the bricks were dried, they were light in weight and could be stored for about a year. The Aztec also ate dry algae as part of their daily diet. Man, that's crazy. It was often eaten with tortillas. The Aztec military carried bricks of blue-green algae as rations. The algae also became a valuable trade item. Long before Christopher Columbus arrived on the island of Hispaniola, which is now Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, the Arawak who lived there had created large ponds in which they cultivated stocks of fish and turtles. The underwater corals that they constructed out of reeds held up to 1,000 large sea turtles or terrapins. This many turtles yielded the same amount of meat as 100 head of cattle. The animals Europeans relied upon as a meat source. Aquaculture was a highly efficient way to provide nutrition. Since it required much less time and energy than hunting, because female sea turtles lay about 500 eggs a season, this food resource was renewable. The Arawak harvested these turtles in a unique way. They observed that the remora or suckerfish attached itself to the body of a shark and other types of large fish by means of suction disc in its head. They caught and fed remoras, training them to tolerate a light cord fastened to their tails and gills. When a turtle was sighted, the Arawak turtle hunters would release a remora, which swam to the turtle. Hold up, give me a sec. Attaching its suction disc to the underside of the carapace or shell, holding the line to the remora. The hunter would follow in a canoe and gap the turtle or tie it to the canoe. Now that's fire.
Bro, you know what? The blue and green algae, you know what that is. That's chlorella. That's
Chlorella,
chlorella and the other one. What's the other one? Chlorella and what's the other one they tell
spirulina.
you about? Spirulina, yeah. That's chlorella and spirulina. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite sure everybody that had turtle before. And I know in the South, bro, that's all they eat is turtles down there, bro.
Oh yeah, we eating turtle. It's not like it used to be, but yeah, it's
Nothing like it used to be until these devils get the hell off the land. Ain't never gonna be like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's interesting right there. Like I told y'all, man, it's some heavyweight shit, y'all.
heavy.
And we gonna go through. We going through the time to read this out. We doing the best we can just to try to get y'all some of this culture to let you understand in the Americas, man. Like I said, I hope people very grateful for the brothers running through this because this Friday night we could be two-stepping, throwing something back. You know what I'm saying? I'm politicking with some people, but instead we out here doing a live stream trying to get the people their culture. So I really hope people appreciate it, man. I'm gonna touch on aqueducts a little bit, unless you wanted to touch on this. Did you want to touch on this as well? I mean, if there's no, so I'll just mute the mic.
Yeah, I can read it right quick, bro. If you, it don't
Go ahead,
matter.
go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna mute my mic then. Go ahead. Mute my mic. Go ahead.
All right, all right. So we got aqueducts. It's pretty interesting right here. Also calculated 1700 BC. Mesoamerica, South American, Andean cultures. Aqueducts are pipes or channels designed to carry water from long distances. Most work on the principle of gravity. The Olmec, whose civilization arose in Mesoamerica in about 1700 BC, were the first people to build aqueducts in Mesoamerica. In contrast, Roman aqueducts date to about 300 BC. So it's letting you know Romans didn't catch on till 1400 years later. All right, so the Olmec constructed their amazing engineering feats, including pyramids out of basalt, a volcanic rock that is very dense, hard, and heavy. Olmec engineers used to use stone tools to build their aqueducts. A portion of the work was done at the basalt quarry, and the rest was done once the stones had been transported to the building site. The stone workers carved basalt blocks into U-shaped containers and laid them end to end from the water source to the locations where the water was needed. Once the U-shaped blocks were completed, they set them into clay and ditches. They carved capstones to lay on top of the U-shaped block that's completely enclosed, the water running through them. Archaeologists discovered that the capstones also served as altars or monuments, suggesting that the Olmec may have considered the water sacred. Water was piped through aqueducts for agricultural purposes. You can also see irrigation system, which I know is power. All right. Recent research at the San Lorenzo site indicates that the systems were used to pipe drinking water as well, which is also in plumbing. All right. The Moche, whose culture flourished on the northern coast of what is now Peru from about 200 BC to AD 600, built extensive aqueducts to carry their irrigation canals across ravines. An aqueduct in the Chicama Valley is nearly 50 feet high and a mile long. Nearly every valley contained water engineering projects. The Inca, whose empire was established in what is now Peru in about AD 1000, built stone aqueducts to irrigate terraced fields and to carry water into city centers. When the terrain required it, they built causeways to carry water over low or marshy spots. They also built stone lined and stone covered conduits to bring water into buildings in Cusco, a major population center,
Damn,
which we know as the navel, the belly button of the world. Let's get it.
damn. That's crazy. That's sick. Um,
Yeah,
damn,
that's
man.
straight fire. That's fire, man. We can elaborate on a few things. Yeah, man. Let's get to it.
Um, Damn. You know what? I don't even want, man. Damn. Let's go to architects, man. Somebody want to touch on that? If not, I'll get with it with this.
Go ahead, A1.
All right. So we got architects. It's AD 600 AD. North American, Northwest culture, Southwest Mesoamerican, South American, Adine cultures. Architects are professional who design and supervise the construction of buildings. Many of the buildings of American Aborigines show evidence of sophisticated architects' planning. Example range from the large wooden of the Taline to the Tensimians and the Hyada. Say on the southern coast of what is known as Alaska and the Queen Charlotte Island of British Columbia. Carpentry techniques. It's a to pre-Inca and Inca city built of stone is what now is Peru. It's a sea stone mason techniques and the Olmecs, Maya, the Aztec, and the pre-Peruvian pyramids. Massive whole Harcum buildings made of adobe such as Casa Grande is in what is now Arizona and Anissa Cliff dwellings of the American Southwest. See apartment complexes. Oh man, I'm gonna keep it moving. Somebody actually hit me, man. I'm gonna keep it moving though. I'll answer that in a minute. Um, all right. I mean, y'all, anybody want to touch on the aromatherapy or already? Actually,
Nah,
he just touched on.
we already know what the pretty much people already know, but we have been doing it for a long time, so it's good to know that the Aztec and the Mayan apply aromatherapy. I like to touch on this arrowroot though.
Go ahead. You can touch on it. Let
All
me mute
right,
my mic.
arrowroot. About 2000 BC, the indigenous people of what is now Peru had cultivated arrowroot. The Inca, my bad, hold on, whose empire was established in what is now Peru, used it as food, as did the Mayan, whose culture arose in Mesoamerica about 1500 BCE. The Arawak and Taino, who lived in the Carib Islands, also used arrowroot as a food and made poultries of arrowroot to draw the poison from out of snake wounds, from out of wounds. Arrowwood is a good source of starch and a form of energy giving substance found in plants. Non-Indian use arrowroot as a food for children who who were convalescing from illness or used to make teething biscuits. You know what I'm saying? So that's good enough. Good enough.
That's
Uh,
deep. That's deep. That's deep. That's
we can
deep.
go. We can go into this arthrosynthesis. Arthrosynthesis affecting joints. Much like the modern electric heating pad, other North American Indian tribes use hot baths as treatment, steeping bonnets in the bath water. So let's get into it. That's pretty much it on that. You have to go somewhere else before the reading. See,
Hold on, let me see.
its orthosynthesis is performed to remove fluid from the knee joint. An excessive amount of fluid causes difficulty in ability and range of motion and flexion of the joints. This is commonly conditioned is also very painful. Modern physicians treated by acupuncture areas with a needle to drain the fluid. Most and unaware of the Aztec whose empire was established in Mesoamerica in about 1100 AD, invented this treatment in pre-Columbia times. So they're telling you that the Aztec invented this treatment of draining fluid from different parts of your joint before
Hmm.
Christopher Columbus. Hundreds of years where Western doctors, ancient Mesoamerican physicians used a thorn to lace a puncture in the knee and drain excess fluid accumulating in the joint. So they would use a thorn bush, something natural just to poke a quick hole, just to drain a little bit of that fluid bust right off of
Hmm.
that. That's what you
That's
do for
let's. You might want to touch on. I
okay.
mean, that's interesting right there, bro. That's what I'm saying. This book is very interesting, man. And I know, man. How many people we got watching this, man? We got what? We got 122. Man, we need more people on this. I mean, I'm not one to always like encourage people to watch this, but when these country ass niggas be talking about Moors and this other country shit, it be fucking almost 250 people watching, but none of them gonna move on to asphalt. Asphalt, 800 BC, North American, California,
Hey,
and
hey,
North.
hey, hey.
Yeah.
It said 8,000 BC.
Oh shit,
8,000.
my bad, y'all. And Chief Holiday, I sent you a link too. If you listening. Asphalt, North American, I mean 8,000 BC. All right, so let's get that right. 8,000 BC plus 200 in 2018. That's 10,018. All right, you country motherfuckers. So I mean, my bad. I ain't talking about you. I'm just saying in general, y'all. North, I'm just saying in general. I ain't saying in general, brother. You know what I'm saying? North American, California, and Northeast culture. So we talking about here. We talking about us. All right. So it say the lowest grade of crude oil called asphalt, brownish black in color. It say it is solid and semi-solid. Evidence exists that culture east of the Missouri River, it say, were using it as a waterproofing agent as early as 8,000 BC. I ain't gonna keep it going. Y'all already know what asphalt is. We keep it moving. Just astringents. I'm just going to touch on this first paragraph, and we're going to keep it moving. So astringent, North American Northeast culture. Astringents are a substance that draw together or tighten the tissue. A perfect example of what astringent is aloe vera. When you put aloe vera on your skin, what happens is it pulls the skin together. That's why it heals so fast. You understand what I'm saying? It tightens it up. Same thing witch hazel with astringent. All right, so like I said, it tightens the tissue. It tightens up the tissue. It say they also work to stop bleeding or diarrhea from coagulating proteins on the surface of a cell. North American Indians compiled the extensive list of plants with astringent properties that were used to treat number of health problems. Okay. I'm not going to really go into that because we got a lot to go through, but just to give you an idea, I believe that we kind of touched on astronomy a little bit. When in the first, we got astronomy observation, observatories. I'm sorry, observatories. My bad. That's like when you go to these big. That's like when you go to like a what is them? I haven't been to one of them in a long time. What the fuck is it called? Up here we got one in Liberty State Park. It's like a what they call them now, man, where they got the telescopes at.
Museum?
Not a museum. What is it called, man? If we got one right in where I'm at in Jersey, where Liberty State Park is at, we got one there. What the fuck is the name of it? Where the giant telescopes is at? It's a observatory, but it's called something else, man. It's gonna come to me in a minute, man. I can't think of it right now, y'all. We got aspirin right here, and we're gonna keep it moving.
Yeah.
Unless you guys got something you want to touch
Yeah,
on
I
while
kind
we
of want.
doing.
Oh, I
Yeah, I
was just
kind of want to touch
y'all know.
on. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, I was just gonna say y'all notice how all the pretty much cures and our ways of healing, man, are pre-contact, man. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, bro, you whatever you need to say, bro. However long you need to get it out. Is the floor is yours. I just don't. I want to pass through because we got a lot. It's a lot of
Yeah,
other.
that's what
It's
I
some
was.
interesting shit, bro. It's just some interesting stuff that I've been through from the beginning to the end, and I want to at least try to get at least I want to try to get to F when we get to French clothing, because when I was reading the beginning, was just telling you that these people wasn't Indians; these are the tribe of Israel. So when we get to the French clothing, we're gonna touch on that. But we got axes and copper. I don't know if anybody want to touch on this. Um, pretty
Yeah,
much
I go
we
with. Go ahead, Jay.
go.
All right. Yeah, that's one of the favorites here, man. Axis, copper, calculated 5,000 BC to 4,000 BC. North American copper culture, Paleo Indian. So this American here, y'all, this home. All right. Axes are tools with blade-shaped heads mounted on a handle. They are used for chopping, and in previous centuries, they were sometimes thrown as weapons in battle. Paleo Indians living in the northern Great Lakes are an area of what is now the United States made a technical technological leap when they invented the first metal axe blade made in the Americas 6,000 to 7,000 years ago. They created these axes from copper found in nuggets around the area. According to archaeologists, before this time, Paleo Indians had chipped axe blades from stone. Metal axes were a valuable technological improvement over stone axes because they could be sharpened. They were also heavier and more effective for cutting wood than stone axes. These Paleo Indians whom archaeologists call the copper culture of the Great Lakes region, are considered to be the world's first metal worker.
Damn, yo. So, yo, listen. These devils stole everything. They ain't fucking create nothing. Nothing. They ain't creating nothing. Everything that's going around the world is
Nothing.
contributed from us here.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and
you,
it's telling you the exact timing. So it's telling you the first in the world. They know because by the time they got over here studying, they already knew what was already over there in the other countries on the over on the western side. I'm on the eastern side. So what I'm saying is they telling you deliberately they are the first people to use these type of equipment. The workers ain't nothing else to say but
we on B, y'all. Damn.
I'm on
Oh,
B right now. All right, you already there?
yeah. All right, look. We got baby bottles. It say C syringes. Peace Chief Holiday in the building.
Peace,
Um,
peace, chief.
we got baby carriers. We got back straps and looms. We got balloons. Okay, so they see toys. Then we got balls and rubbers. Anybody want to touch on the balls?
I'll go in on that right quick.
Let's go. You see the little, you see, look up. You see the image of the ball player. You see that? But go ahead.
Yeah, that was LeBron before LeBron, yo. Obviously, they got a statue of him with the ball in there. Let's carry it something. You know what I'm saying? Here's the truth. So let's go in. The OMAC were the first people to produce and play with rubber balls, spherical objects that were widely used in many sports and games today. A rubber ball is dated to 1000 BC, has been found in the Olmec sites of La Venta. Rubber is made from the sap and latex of a, a tree indigenous to the area. The Olmec, whose culture flourished in the 1700 BCE all the way up to 400 BC, were the first to manufacture objects made of rubber. They and later the Mayans and Aztecs may follow the solid rubber balls that they were used for playing in team sports on huge ball courts, right? So the Aztec and the Mayans took it to a bigger arena. You know what I'm saying? They started playing on actual courts where they use asphalt or concrete to lay their foundation at where they play, right? So the Mayan culture arose in about 1500 BC. The Aztec Empire was established in about 1100 AD. Rubber balls were so highly valued in the Codex of Mendoza in the Aztec book, and the accounts listed 16,000 rubber balls being paid by the coastal provinces of the Aztec Empire. Golly. One version of the Mesoamerican basketball was played with a solid rubber ball that varied in sizes 2 to 10 inches in diameter. This version could produce bodily damage with the uh, protective gear worn by players. Even with paddling, ball players were not immune from bruises. So that means they were playing and the game would get so rough that these people could get hurt. So they would have to wear what you would call like gear, armor, football shit. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much got football equipment playing basketball. Yo, this shit getting rough. See what I'm saying?
yo,
So they could go ahead.
nah, go ahead, man. I mean,
Yeah, they could use only the shoulders, thighs, knees, heads, and hips to hit the ball in order to get it through a hoop. So, and it was made up. So, you just got to see it, man. It's kind of different than basketball today, probably a little harder, but they played it on the slope. So, these rings was on the slope. So, they would hit it with their wrists and with their arms, their shoulder and hips, and, they'll run up and, what I'm saying? Hit in the hole with the hip, man. You know what I'm saying? But it was still a form of basketball, what has evolved to what we know as basketball today. The hollow day clay whistle is in shape of the Mayan ball player shows. I'm holding a rubber ball. Rubber balls that American Indians made before contact with Europeans have been found throughout Mesoamerica. The earliest date is 1000 BC.
Man,
And this
even
and this
so,
and this is in the Milwaukee Museum.
they stole everything from y'all. Everything. Every mother, beep beep thing. Okay. And like I said, man, as you read this, you see, and you start wondering, these Europeans ain't create nothing. They are the biggest fucking thieves and liars on the planet. Okay. Barbecues. Okay. Um, this is 1100 AD. Mesoamerica. It's a circum-Caribbean culture. They say the term barbecue refers to outdoor pit. It's a or grilling of for cooking meat over a fire. The word can also mean the method of cooking or social gathering where food is cooked. I mean, jokers love to go to barbecues, okay? It says the Maya, whose civilization arose in 1500 BC in Mesoamerica, and the Aztec, say whose empire was established in the same area beginning in about AD 1100, well, 1100 AD. It say were known to roast meat over an open fire and a framework of greenwood sticks. The Tainos of the Caribbean, which the Puerto Ricans say who Columbus and his crew encountered, introduced the barbecue to the Europeans. They say early engravings of explorers show indigenous people from this area roasting meat over the woven flames of the greenwood. All right, so I mean, we don't need to go no further. Y'all niggas know it's getting hot, and y'all already know how y'all feel about these barbecues, okay? Do one of you guys want to touch on barbershops? If
Yeah,
not, I touch on this and
I
somebody go ahead touch on the Jaguar. Go ahead. I'm gonna pause mute my mic.
all right. Should I just go ahead since it's short? I touch on that one in the next one, man. That way,
Go, go ahead. You
all
good.
right,
Go ahead. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
all right. Here we got barbershops calculated AD 1100 to AD 1519. Mesoamerican cultures. Long before contacts with Europeans, the Aztec patronized barbershops established in large, thriving urban centers. Ancient Aztec barbers differed from the old world barbers, who were referred to as barber surgeons and who performed bloodletting and crude surgery. Instead, their work more closely resembled that of present day hairstylists. Aztec barbershop patrons either had their heads shaved or had their hair trimmed or washed in these establishments. And it says you see detergent, hair conditioning, hygiene, and all that. So it was basically letting you know that we was doing it right and they was over there basically heads off. So I'm gonna go on the base 20 mathematical system. Um Mesoamerican cultures. I'm going with 31 BC. In mathematics, a base is the number that, when raised to certain powers, makes up the basic units used for counting. For example, the components used as placeholders in the Arabic base 10 system that is common throughout the world today are ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and so on. Mesoamericans invented a mathematical system using a base 20 system. Some ethnologists speculate that the 20 was used as the base of the indigenous American system because early Mesoamerican people initially used both fingers and toes for performing calculations. The Maya, whose culture arose in about 1500 BC, have often been credited with inventing the base 20 system. Maya mathematicians are considered to have been the most sophisticated in the New World. However, the Olmec may have invented the system much earlier. An Olmec stela or stone pillar carved with the equivalent of the date 31 BC and bar and dot notations is the oldest proof for a mathematical system and a calendar in the New World. The Olmec civilization arose in the Yucatan Peninsula of what is now southern Mexico in about 710 BC, 1700 BC to 400 BC. In the Mesoamerican system of numeric notation, a dot stood for 1 unit and a bar stood for 5. A shell symbolized 0, a concept invented by Mesoamerican mathematicians. Like the numbers in the Arabic numeral system, the first 9 in the Mesoamerican system were unique, combining the symbols for 1 through 9 with the symbol for 10 formed the numerals 11 through 19. After that, numbers were organized in multiples of 20. The numbers were written from top to bottom, and the value of these bars and dots were determined by the position in which they were written. All right, so it's got a little bit more. In addition to being used for calendar calculations, mathematics was used by the Maya and Aztec to figure daily transactions in the marketplace. Maya merchants used cacao beans or other counters arranged on a flat surface to do the math. Evidence exists that the Maya and Aztec used an abacus as well. They performed addition and subtraction by adding or subtracting counters from the proper row. Because the system contained a 0, multiplication and division could also be performed used in Europe at the time. Although the Mesoamerican mathematical system could not handle fractions, it was sophisticated and allowed extremely accurate calculation. So much so that the Maya and Aztec calendars systems that were constructed using it are some of the most precise in the world. All right. The base 10 system of mathematics is a relatively new numeric system to new numeric system to Europe, having been introduced by the Moors who invaded Spain during the 11th century. Islamic mathematicians had learned the concept of place value in base 10 in about AD 850. Olmec mathematicians invented the concepts at least 200 years before. The Chinese also adopted the Arabic system. Before the 11th century, Europeans practiced Greek mathematics that used a base 60 system, borrowed from the Hittites who invented it. The Zuni, a Pueblo people living in what is now the southwestern United States, independently invented a base 10 system before contact with Europeans. The Pomo living in what is now Southern California also used a base 10 for counting and record keeping and were able to express numbers in thousands.
Damn, that's deep, yo. That's real deep right there, man. So they
Yeah,
saying that the system and 0 was invented over here. Okay.
right.
And that's
So
what it,
another, yeah, what it's telling you is we created masonry, what we known as the sacred language or the sequences of masonry. Yeah, man, it tell you the complex linking of the numbers in the alphabet or the symbolic numbers between 0 to 9. I mean,
damn, yeah, see?
that's
And
it.
that's what they try to tell you. That's science, 0 to 9. That's what I learned when I was studying more science. That's what they tell you. The science from 0 to 9. You know what I'm saying? Astronomy, cosmology, and geometry. We the ones who invented that in North America. Oh, like I said, man, this is real deep, man. This is a heavyweight jam, man. I hope y'all people appreciating this because these are all accommodations of the culture that been hidden from us that we don't know to this day. Prior to this, we pretty much talking about the inventions that we made as African American, but these are the inventions we made as the Aborigines. And I'm gonna continue with basketball. All right, it's a heavyweight jam, y'all. We created basketball, okay, and every so. Let's just sit down real quick, just for 1 second. Let's think about it. Let's ponder. We only on B, okay? And we went from all type. We went from A to where we at now, B. And look at the things in which we created, and what is people getting to understand. You ain't got to go nowhere else to learn this. You ain't got to pull up 20 different articles to figure out. We got this shit right here on the Time to This One channel with the brother Jaguar Ome and the brother AP Powder. And now we joined by Chief Holiday. All right. So I'm gonna touch on basketball. So basketball calculated 1000 BC. Okay, Mesoamerica, North America culture. Basketball is a team sport which points are scored by throwing a rubber ball through a hoop. An American game that most people believe that was invented about 100 years ago, the truth, it was played by American Indians or American Aborigines about 3,000 years ago. The Olmecs who lived in what now is southern Mexico and Central America from the 1700 BC to 400 BC originated the game because latex producing trees grew in these areas. It's a and they had developed the technology to create balls made from rubber because this game is the first one known to have used rubber balls. Many anthropologists consider it to be the forerunner of modern games that use bouncing ball, including basketball, soccer, and football. What did Columbus said? He seen them kicking rubber balls around. This the reason they took soccer. And what do they show you? They show you that faggot motherfucker in Spain, always like, oh, he the best. He's the best soccer player. What's that gay looking motherfucker name? The one from Spain. They always show him like he's the best soccer player and shit. We know Pele was the best soccer player from Brazil. Okay, both nobles and commoners played the game. It say both nobles and commoners played the game. It say and nearly every adolescent male participated. Now, who the fuck play basketball today? Do you see any Mexicans playing basketball? Do you see any who plays this stuff today? Because it's in our DNA. This is not this. Come on, it's not a joke that we are the best basketball players on the. We the best sports players. If we want to play soccer, we'll take that over. We already then dominated baseball. We didn't gave that shit to our Spanish brothers and sisters. But we dominate everything. Football, it's listen. We already know who did this and who it was created by. So if you see right here, I'm gonna continue reading, but if you see right here to the right, this is a I guess this is what the court looked like. And also, you know what? I would love to get the brother Medicine Man, because brother Medicine Man touches on this in his video as well as the brother Karimio. So I'm gonna definitely shoot this to the brother Medicine Man because I know he'll love to have this. All right, I'm gonna continue on. Okay, professional basketball teams that played on Fest Day. They say so important was the ball game to the Olmec culture that the huge stone balls court was built in the central ceremony areas of the Olmecs and later the Mayans and Aztecs. Evidence of these impressive courts have been found from Honduras to Arizona. It said the architectural remains of 600 ball courts have been found in Mexico. The typical contain large circular stones with a hole in the center that were mounted high on the sidewall of the playing field. Instead of being horizontal, it say these pre-Columbian hoops were mounted vertically. It say many anthropologists think the game, which involved making goals by getting the ball through the stone, it say, or sometime wooden hoop spread through the Americas. When the Aborigines of these different areas visit one another, the archaeology found about 200 whole Harkums ball courts in what is known as what is now Arizona. It say the whole Harkum culture arose about 300 BC. Both solid and hollow balls, rubber balls, have been found near the ball courts. All right, so I don't even need to go no further. You see this right here on this side. This is it's a basketball court similar to one at the, I don't know how to pronounce this. It says in what is now Mexico, served at the playing field for the games invented by the Olmecs, who culture arose in about 1700 BC. Players earn points by passing the ball through the vertical stone rings, it's say, on the wall at each end of the court. All right, so look, these people ain't create nothing. They owe you everything. They owe us everything in this country. Everything. From, we telling you right now. These are the inventions you made as Aborigines. We ain't even, we already know the inventions we made once they declassify you as African American. The car, all, yo, like I said, these people owe us everything, and they treat us so fucked up on our own land. Okay, let's continue, man.
Right.
Basket weaving. Anybody want to touch on that?
Yeah, I'll go in on it a little bit. You know what I mean?
What?
We already know what basket weaving is. Basket weaving techniques. Basket are containers woven from plant fibers and materials such as twigs and grass. Although basketry is a craft that was and continues to be practiced throughout the world, American Indians, with their fine workmanship and unique design, raised basket weaving in an art form as early as 8000 BC. The the Shoshan people, excuse me, the Shoshan people of North America and the Great Bison were making baskets of twine that made that they were able to cook over in American baskets that were made of used a number of styles of woven material. My bad. Excuse me, I got lost. Oh no,
Brother.
I'm right. I'm right. All right, there we go. One technique was wicker work, and over and under interweaving in horizontal fibers of the vertical frame made from Stroder material. But yeah, we can go up and look at some of the stuff that they got right here. We'll read up under here. Excuse me. American Indians found many uses for the baskets. They were made promo. They were made the promo. I think I'm saying that right. The promo in the California tribe, considered to be the most highly skilled basket makers in North America. Woven these baskets, they were used to prepare mush and bread made from acorns.
Hmm. And they got a video, just in case if you want to know what the Indians look like in California. I'm actually tomorrow, I'm gonna post a video of the 49ers, and they got pictures of these black Indians that was already there. Black Indians with thick, with their hair might be long, but you can see that it's bushy and it's thick. All right, and they show you what these people look like that was there. So you continue on, my brother. I mean,
Yeah, I was done. I wasn't gonna get into. Yeah, we already know what basket weaving is. We can just move on to the next one. Somebody else want to go in.
we got bathing, we got bathing. It say sea hygiene, personal. Then we got beakers. Y'all know what beakers are. Beakers are used in science labs to basically mix different formulas and different things together, as well as beans. I don't think we really need to touch on beans. Everybody know what beans are. I mean, unless you want to hear about the different types of beans, most of us right here say some of the common beans are string beans, snap snap beans, pinto beans, common beans, butter beans, lima beans, navy beans. It's a pole beans, French beans. Let me see something. I know black eyed peas are considered beans, and black-eyed peas are basically found in California. Now, these idiots will tell you black-eyed peas, they bought the so-called slaves brought black-eyed peas from West Africa over here, but that's not true. Black-eyed peas is indigenous to California. All right, so we can keep it moving
Yeah,
through
and
that.
that might want to let them know the date: 5200 BC to 3400 BC. Beans,
Damn.
cultivating beans.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
my bad on that. That's my bad. Thanks, Jaguar. My bad on that. Yeah, you see that? That's almost 5200 BC plus 2018. You do the math. You know what I'm saying? You do the math. And this is like I said. These are their dates. I'm assuming that this is way longer than that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm assuming that this is way longer than that. These are the dates that they're being generous with. We got beekeeping. Do anybody want to touch on
Yo,
that?
yo, yo.
Yeah, I
Peace,
want to
peace,
see
peace.
what's up. Peace, Chief. What's going
Peace
on?
to the master teachers on the board. Yeah, man. I just been soaking in all the info, man. Just appreciate you, brothers. What y'all doing, man? I mean, man, it's just it's a beautiful thing right now, man. You know, history. You know what I mean? Here's the thing, right? What you guys are doing is monumental, right? You guys have found a primary source that's given historical accounts that nobody has ever heard before. Like, I mean, come on, y'all. Like, the
You know
contributions
what?
of
I ain't find it, Chief. Let's give credit to
huh?
which one of y'all brothers found it?
Jaguar Omac
Um,
turned
Let's
it
give
Jaguar
in
credit
found
to
it.
let's give credit to Jaguar Omek for his work, bro. Let's definitely give credit to the brother. I'm just blessed to be in on this, and we
Oh
doing
yeah.
it. We actually doing. I mean to cut your brother. I just want to give credit to the brother because like I said, these brother put me on it, and I was when I read through it, I was so amazed by it. I was like, yo, we gotta do this. So go ahead, Chief. Refer. Yes, Keith might be. Mike must be breaking up. He probably need to go in and come back in. Go out and come back in. Um, if anybody want to touch in on beekeeping until so we get back, so we can keep it moving. Y'all want
Go,
who want to touch?
go, go ahead, because I got something pulled up that I really want to touch on. Go ahead.
All right. Well, just beekeeping. Say pre-contact Mesoamerican culture. It's the people who care for honey producing insects. It's a in human-made hives. It's in order to harvest honey. It's are called beekeepers. It's a apparatus indigenous people throughout North and Meso and South America gathered the wild honey to use as sweetener. They say, but the Mayans have a distinctive of being the first beekeepers in America. All right, so it's a seed animal domestication. All right, I'm just saying, y'all already know. Like I said, and then, like I said, man, a lot of this stuff these Europeans are taking credit for. These motherfuckers got companies doing all this shit, and none of us own none of this shit. None of the cultures that we invented, we don't partake in nothing. The only way we partake in is if we the fucking workers. So let that marinate. Let's keep it moving, fellas. Somebody
Yeah,
want to
right.
touch on bells?
I'm gonna
Me?
touch on I want to touch on Balas, uh, which I believe created in 13,000 BC. 13,000. That's about 50. That's over 15,000 years ago. Balaus, ancient weapons used for hunting or welfare, are made with weights affixed to cords. The ball is used by arrangement ganchos or cowboys on the Pompeii today were in use in Peru as early as 15,000 years ago. According to some archaeologists, a new people of what is now Alaska also use balaus for hunting, unlike the alado or the sling, which are independent inventions. The balau is an indigenous to the Americas. Archaeologists believe the earliest targets of Bilal were the Macedonians, the Mastodons, at the end of the Paleolithic area. Balaos in Spanish for the balls. Balaos is Spanish for balls. My bad, excuse me. The South American version of the balao is made of two or three golf ball sized grooved stones. What was that? Stones tied to a leather tongue and cords. These cords are about 2 to 3 feet in length, and their free ends are joined together. The Mapuche people who continue to live in southern parts of now South America today use balaus to hunt llama, deer, and rhea. When the Spaniards introduced horses to what is now Chile and Argentina, balao hunters was done on the horseback and the early gaucho began. Earlier explorers to the Arctic, to the no, my bad, to the Arctic regions found in Inuit people using what they call, I ain't even gonna try to pronounce that word. I'm sorry, y'all. To hunt birds. These were believed to have been invented by the people of the Tahula culture in 1100 AD, or excuse me, 1000 AD. A new something. Y'all know that word. Y'all can see it. My bad. I apologize. I can see the little man. We got him as a white man though. So y'all gotta dodge that. I don't know what's going on with that. Balaus, a weapon unique to the Americas, was used both by hunting and warfare by the American Indians in South America and in North America. The drawing is based on one made by the Indian artist Philippe Garman. Yeah, y'all see it right there. But yeah, man, y'all see how we was making stuff to, using strategic methods, to hunt. And that's a big thing right there. You know what I mean? So that's powerful.
Yeah, I had found one too, man. If y'all want to go down to blowguns, y'all know we used to seeing that. I think we saw that in the movie Avatar and plenty of movies and stuff like that, man. Cartoons and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, definitely.
okay, okay. Um, since we added blowguns, is another weapon, 1500 BC, North American, Southeast, Mesoamerican, South American, tropical forest cultures. Blowguns are long, hollow tubes through which a pointed dart is propelled with a strong puff of breath. The Maya, whose culture arose in what is now Mexico in about 1500 BC, were the first to invent the blowgun in pre-contact America. The Aztec, whose civilization arose in what is now Mexico and in parts of in Mesoamerica, starting in about AD 1100, and the Indians of South America used them for hunting as weapons. The Indians of the Amazon region of South America is extensively and continue to use them today. The blowgun did not find widespread use among North American Indians except for the Choctaw, Cherokee, and Seminole peoples, all of whom lived in the Southeast. All of the tribes that utilized the blowgun used small darts as ammunition. In the Amazonian region, the darts were tipped. Hold up, all right, with natural with the natural poison curare. Montezuma, the Aztec emperor at the time of Spanish conquest, referred to the blowgun as a blowpipe. He used it in his personal gardens for sport and fired small pieces of baked clay shaped like marbles as missiles. Some Mesoamerican blowguns or blowpipes were made of copper. Not all blowguns were constructed in the same way. Although they appear simple, these weapons demonstrate a working understanding of physics. The Indians of the Amazon region, particularly the Shuar, Akuar, and Aguan, Aguarana, I don't know, tribes relied on master technicians to produce their blowguns because the engineering technique used required an experienced specialist. So it was hard to make them. These blowguns were made from two equal lengths of hardwood fitted together to form a longer tube. The seam where the two pieces joint had to be perfectly fitted so that there would not be a ridge on the inside of the bore to skew the trajectory of the missile. The blowgun used by tribes in the southeastern part of what is now the United States was about 5 or 6 feet long. Because of this length, it blows slightly when a hunter held it in the ready position. To compensate for this bend in the blowgun, it was made with a hole bored so that the ends of the hole blow slightly upward when it lay on a flat surface. In the ready position, the bore became perfectly straight. So,
That's interesting right there, y'all. Um, you know what? Hold up. Just do me a favor, y'all. Before y'all go down, even if you're not gonna read it, let's just read out some of the, like, we got bells. That's 1000 BC.
right,
Everybody know what bells is. Bells is first invented in the New World, or what we call the Americas. And also we went past birth control. It say C contraceptics. I just wanted to just touch on them two right there because I think that's very significant. That something that we definitely need to touch on. And then also you got stuff like black walnut, which is, black walnut is actually used to get rid of, well, we use it to get rid of parasites or
right.
whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to just touch on some of these things. Like we got also blueberry. I don't need to read that, but now we have blowguns, so we can keep it moving from there. Um, Go ahead, brother. Y'all, I mean, it's y'all floor too. So if y'all scrolling down, y'all see something. I just wanted to just touch. I just wanted to just let people know bells, because bells is important. You know,
Right.
in Philadelphia, they got the Liberty Bell, but just to know that he was already creating bells, just to let y'all know, these people ain't create shit. Only thing they came over here was with their devilish ways of killing people and taking over shit. They ain't create nothing except probably just the fucking gun, just and the techniques that they use to take over shit. So we know that they ain't create nothing. Everything is yours. Okay. Board games. Anybody want to touch on board games?
Yeah, I hit it right quick. I
Let's
was
go.
right there myself. That's interesting right there.
Hmm.
Board games, 1500 BC to AD 1519. Mesoamerican, North American, Southwest cultures. Board games are played by moving counters or men over a pattern drawn or painted on a flat surface. A roll of the dice usually determines the number of spaces a player may move. Patali and Bull. Okay, two board games played by ancient Mesoamericans were engaged in recreationally as a form of gambling and for religious purposes. Oh snap! These
Mm.
games, blending strategy and chance, were just as challenging and entertaining as those devised in Europe or Asia. Boards for Patali have been found scratched into building floors and on benches at Aztec archaeological sites. All right. The Florentine Codex shows a picture of two people playing patali. All right. The Aztec Empire, which we know was established AD 1100, is now okay. Yeah. Although bull is certain to have originated with the Maya, who were playing it by the time the Europeans arrived, no game boards have been found. Maya culture flourished starting in about 1500 BC. Okay, we know that. Patali is often credited with having Aztec origins. However, some archaeologists believe that both games are Maya in origin. Patali boards have been discovered throughout the Maya world. Both Patali and Bull or Bull could be played on round or square boards, but the rules were different. Patali was similar to modern day backgammon or parcheesi. Generally, it was played on a marked board or bark paper with beans for counters. The, the first person to travel around the board and return home safely would be the winner. Whether or not the Aztec originated the game, they played it frequently and bet high stakes on who would win. Bull, the Maya word for playing with dice, utilized grains of corn for markers and involved throwing other grains of corn that had been burned on one side as dice. And players advance players advance their markers by throwing the dice. If they landed on a space occupied by another's player's marker or warrior, they could capture it and then change direction to drag it back to the other end of the board. At the end of the opponent's warrior would be officially dead. The game ended when all of one of the player's men had been killed. When more than two people played, the rulers were more complex. Some Mayas still play a version of this game today.
Damn.
So,
Now, where do you see? Who do you see playing dice on the street? Hmm?
okay, then
All
you
right.
already.
Who used to do because you say it says see gambling. So when we go down to gambling, we're gonna see some more stuff though. But who do you see back in the early 50s running numbers and stuff like that? Like I said, man, these people ain't create nothing. They took everything and marketed it and made fucking money off of it. They should be cutting us a check every fucking month. They should be cutting us a check every week from all the stuff that they invented. Because remember, Europe was poor. They was eating dead babies and they was suffering over. That's the reason why they went around the world and started taking all the resources of the other people. They went to Australia, did the same fucking thing. We know white people ain't indigenous to Australia. They did the same thing they did here and everywhere around the fucking world. And these people took all this stuff and then they sit here and act like they invented it and don't give no credit to the people who invented shit.
Right.
So like I said, I mean, this is sickening, man. It's fucking sickening, man. And learning this
Right.
history is sickening. I ain't got no respect for these people, man. Because when you really look at their history, you like, damn, y'all ain't create nothing. So your whole society was created off of us. You on our land, you got all our inventions, and you got us to fucking work for you. God damn. Like, I mean, I digress, man. Let's go on the books, man. Somebody read on books, man. We need to
Uh,
touch on this. And remember this. Remember this. They claim that the Bible was written. They're going to tell you that books was just created. Now we know that people have manuscripts and papyrus or whatever they was writing on certain things, but this is telling you about books. So let's get into this, man.
Go ahead, everyone.
All right, so we're gonna read books. Calculated 600 CAD. Mesoamerican culture. The book is a set of written pages that have been bonded together. Mesoamerican culture compiled writing into books well before Europeans reached America. They included the Mayans, who culture arose about 1500 BC, It say the Toltecs, the mixed text. It say who followed the Toltecs and the Aztecs who established their empire in about 1100 AD, because books that existed at the time Spanish conquest threatened the Spaniard rule by keeping indigenous cultures alive. They ordered most of the books destroyed. Fucking devils. It says shortly after seizing power, the Toltecs, the Toltecs, the first Mesoamerican known to have created books, are believed to have written a religious encyclopedia as early as 660 AD, Mixtec language, which was spoken by the precursors of the Aztec. It say in no, I'm sorry, the precursor of the Aztec is to preserve in the codex. The nut tall anthropologists believe, no, anthropologists believe that because mistext books were intended to serve only as a memory aid for oral history, like the fucking Bible. It said they recorded a narrow range of historical and ritual events. See American history recorded. All right. I'm not even gonna go no further. You guys already know. You see what's going on here. You know, through just the acknowledgement of this book. And like I said, man, I definitely like to thank Jaguar Olmec and definitely AP for bringing this to my attention, man, because this is something that, like I said, man, yo, when you read through this, man, you'll like, you'll feel a sense of pride, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we coming from a history where they tell you you ain't do nothing, and you find out that these devils that took all your history, and then what they did was they took your history and took it around the world and gave it to other cultures and civilized them. So other cultures think us as well. You understand what I'm saying? Other cultures, they should think us as well, because it ain't too much stuff that these people bring here that we ain't create ourselves. It ain't what the fuck people bring here, fool. Bring their dead or bring their ability to do labor. That's it. Everything else is riding off the backs of the Aborigines. So let's continue, man. We got botanical gardens, say garden botanical bottles. See, weaving basket techniques, blow drills, which we were kind of touched on. They say bowls laminated. I
That's
don't know,
nation.
huh?
Nation. It's saying who's laminating pre-contact.
Man, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I can read that right quick. Yeah,
Let's get with it. Let's get with that.
it say North American, Great Basin, Arctic, and subarctic culture. Lamination is okay. That's pre-contact. So that's pre-contact, y'all. Make sure I say that. Lamination is the process of covering an object with thin sheets of material that are bonded together. Bows are curved weapons that are used to launch arrows. American Indian tribes of the Great Basin region located in what are now Western Oregon. Let's scroll up. Western Oregon, Southern Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming discovered that by laminating their bows with sinew, the tendons of animals, they could dramatically increase the efficiency of their bows. These first compound laminated bows in pre-contact America were an important discovery, since the indigenous people of this area hunted on foot for the large game they depended on for food. To shape the bow, they first heated mountain. It said not a true mahogany, but it says or another hard wood over an open fire. Next, they bent the wood into a double curve. Afterward, they polished and smoothed the bow with a piece of obsidian flint. It says you see flint napping, if you want to look at that. Once the shaping and polishing were completed, the next step was to laminate the bow. The bow maker placed wet strips of deer sinew along the concave and convex sides of the bow's length. One layer was thus positioned and allowed to dry, and then another layer was placed on the opposite side of the bow. When it was dry, the sinew became like plastic or fiberglass. It was also just as pliable. Next, wet sinew strips would be wound around the bow across the grain of the two layers that had already been fixed to the bow. After this had dried, the bow maker attached bowstrings to the ends of the outward curves of the bow. When the bow had been strung, the archer held it halfway between the ends and the inward central curve in order to use it to propel arrows at as the laminating process made the bow incredibly powerful. A laminated bow could send an arrow completely through a deer at close range. Mm. In some instances, European observers reported that American Indians shot bison with such force that their arrows passed through and projected out the other side. The power of this bow was comparable to the English crossbow. Dang.
Yeah,
Lamination also increased the distance from which the hunter could place a projectile into a target. Inuit people living in the Arctic and subarctic regions of North America use a similar process to make their bows. In the far north, there are few trees, so they use pieces of short wood and mountain sheep and goat horns. They then employ wet rawhide to hold the pieces of the bow together. The horns were heated until they straightened and then were pierced together using a lamination process similar to that used by the indigenous people of the Great Basin.
damn. Yeah, man. They said that went through a damn bison. You know how big a bison is, bro?
Come on, man. That's like a bullet.
Damn. I don't think a bullet can go through a bar. I think probably a 40 cal or probably a
Yeah.
50 caliber. Ain't no 38 or no 9 millimeter going through no damn bison.
Yeah, no.
Nah, yeah, hell yeah. God damn. You want to touch? I'm gonna touch on boxes a little bit. So we got boxes, pre-contact, North America, Northwest, it's a coast, Northeast, and Great Plain culture. In addition to the being sophisticated carpenters, and say who constructed impressive cedar buildings, say sea carpentry techniques. The American Indians of the Northwest coast excelled at smaller projects as well. One of these specialties was wooden boxes used for storage. Some of these were made by hollowing out blocks of wood and fixing them with covers, but others were made of bent wood. Boxes, no, say box markers carefully grooved with a cedar plank, then stained it. Then no, then seamed it. I'm sorry. Then seamed it so that it could be bent into a square or rectangular with three seamless corners. So that's boxes, man. I ain't gonna. We don't need to go no further. Y'all know what a box look like, but yeah, man. Like I said, this is very interesting, man. Here we go. We got the Boy Scouts of America, American influence. This is actually 20th century. Y'all will pretty much know what that is. We got brain surgery. We got brain tanning. I don't know what the hell that is, and Brazilian nuts. So we can go down if unless one of you brothers, we want to touch on bridges. Somebody want to touch on bridges?
Go ahead. You can go in on British.
Where AP at, man? AP, get this, man. Where you quiet? You falling asleep?
Nah, I say go ahead. You can go in on it.
Okay, all right, no doubt. All right, so we got bridges calculated at 1000 AD. It's a South American Indian culture. Structures built to span gorges and rivers in order to provide passive are called bridges. It's as part of their extensive road systems. The Incas constructed a variety of type of bridges. It say or cacas. It say they were adapted to the characteristics of the land as well as to the building material that was available near the bridge site. They say the Incas empire existed in what is now Peru. Started in the Central Highlands about 1000 AD. They say and spread it throughout the entire area by AD. 1440 AD. Bridges were so crucial to the Inca system of transportation. The laws existed setting the death penalty for anyone who tampered with one. They say upkeep the upkeep of the bridge was one of the labor taxes imposed on villages as part of the mita. They say a tax system by the Inca government. These motherfuckers stole everything, man. Everything. I ain't gonna go no further. Y'all know what a bridge is. All right, so what's this? Bequets. I'm not too familiar with what that is. I guess that's like I ain't too familiar with that.
Well, banquets, well, briquets.
You say briquettes. Yeah,
Yeah, it ain't nothing but it's bricks. We can get into it a little bit.
Nah, we got a lot. We still on B. I'm trying to get the F. So unless you really want to touch on that, we can do that. We could. We want to touch on a little. We got buffalo. We got bunk beds. We want to touch a little bit on that, and we can just keep it moving until we, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, now we can just really because a lot of it, we can just skim through. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Because
right.
like I said, this is only part one, so you know what I'm
That's right.
saying. I don't plan on rushing through it all tonight, so yeah, we can really just touch on whatever.
We're stopping about. We'll stop at about 1 o'clock. So we'll keep it moving to 1 o'clock. And like I said,
That's right. That's right.
we're gonna stop about 1 o'clock. And like I said, we keep going. So we got bump beds. I'm just gonna read the first sentence. Bump beds, pre-contact North American, Northeast cultures. That's representing y'all represent for the Aborigine Northeast. All right, so it say bunk beds are arranged one on top of each other. Y'all know what bunk beds? They say that it's the interior walls of the Iroquois and the Algonquin longhouses. All right, so see apartment complex. We touched on that. Let's keep it moving. We on C, y'all. So it's a cacos. I don't know if one of you guys want to touch on that. If not, we'll keep it moving. Cactus. We pretty much know what a cactus is. Agave. You know the agave come from the cactus plant. You see that they was using agave for basically antibiotics. Calendar. Somebody want to touch on the calendar?
Go ahead, everyone or Jad, when y'all can
Where
go ahead.
Jag at? Where Jag at? Jag, you want to touch on the calendar?
Yeah, I can touch on it.
Let's get busy.
All right.
Hold up. You want me? You want it, or you can tell you what page is it?
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it now.
All right, let's get it. All right.
All right. Calendars. 600 BC, Mesoamerican, South American, Andean, North American, Great Plains, Southwest, and Southeast cultures. So basically, the whole Americas almost. American Indians throughout North America, Mesoamerica, and South America use astronomical observations to create calendars, systems of reckoning the passing of time. The oldest of these calendars are the stone medicine wheels in what are now Montana and Saskatchewan. The stone spokes of these wheels have been shown to align to the rising of stellar constellations at the time of the summer solstice. One of these stone wheels, the Bighorn Medicine Wheel in Montana, is estimated to be several hundred years old based on astronomical calculations. Features of the Bighorn Medicine Wheel align to the sunrise at the summer solstice. Other features are aligned to the rising of the constellations Aldebaran and Sirius. A wheel at Moose Mountain in Canada with similar alignments has been carbon dated to be about 2,600 years old. Many such medicine wheels have been found throughout the northern plains of the United States and Canada, located in relatively remote areas. They were built on high hills or bluffs that would have offered ancient astronomers unobstructed stargazing. Hmm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm.
Mesoamerican calendars were extremely sophisticated and accurate. Archaeologists believe the Maya, whose culture arose in about 1500 BC in Mesoamerica, calculated these calendars. The Aztec, whose empire was established in the same region about AD 1100, adopted this Mesoamerican system was composed of several calendars, each of which served a different purpose. The day count was a 260-day ritual almanac used primarily to time religious ceremonies, name children, and predict the future. The earliest known stone carving to display elements of the 260-day calendar is Monument 3 from San Jose, Bogate, located in the valley of Osaka, nine miles north of the ruins of the ancient Zapotec city of Monte Alban. This carved stone is between 2,600 and 2,500 years old. The Maya and Aztec also kept an annual calendar based on the sun, containing 365 days that were arranged into 18 months of 20 days each. This calendar was used to determine the seasons and to schedule events such as market gatherings and crop planting. Without telescopes or the mathematical concept of fractions, early Mesoamerican people by the 5th century BC had calculated a year's length so precisely that it was only 19 minutes off. Only the Chinese equaled this amazing feat of observation and calculation. The
Mm.
scientific tools the Mesoamerican astronomers used to construct their calendars were shadow casting devices, accurate observation, and meticulous record keeping. In addition to the solar or sidereal calendar, the Maya devised a lunar calendar. This calendar consisted of alternating periods of 29 and 30 days in order to compensate for the actual time it took for one lunar cycle. Like their solar calendar, it was accurate. Modern ethno-astronomers have not yet discovered its purpose. Kind of just go on about it. Basically, man, we know about uh, the Mayan
But
calendar.
hey, you know what? Hey, Jaguar, just read that last paragraph if you can.
Okay, I read it. I read all the rest of it.
No, no, just read. No, I mean, if you want to just, because this one right here talks about December 2012. So if you want to just read a little bit, just for people to know, like this kind of relates to like the how they said it, the
End of
cat,
the
the
world.
exactly,
Right,
exactly.
right. Okay. The 260-day and 365-day calendars were used side by side at least 2,400 years ago. Their interlocking combination produced a cycle of dates that did not repeat for 52 years. This was called the calendar round. Beginning with the start of the Maya world, calendar rounds were used to keep track of historical events and consisted of 52-year-long cycles, which the Maya called uh, Zion, Ziumphili or something, or year bundles. Maya count a unique calendar system that kept track of 5,128 years, had fallen out of use before the Europeans came. The long count cycle, according to some archaeoastronomers, is supposed to end on December 21st, 2012.
Hmm.
The Inca, who established an empire in the Andes and along the coast of what is now Peru in AD 1000, devised a calendar that was more tied to agricultural purposes than other Mesoamerican calendars. All
Hmm.
right. They
That's
tied,
interesting.
yeah, they tied the first plowing and planting seasons to the sun, nadir, and the summer solstice. Phases of moon determined the dates that were set for Inca religious festivals. Inca calendars integrated both lunar and solar counts. So this sounds like the one today. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. You see that? And that tells you even about like when we was talking about the almanac. You know who they accredit for making the almanac, Benjamin Banneker. I mean, and that's of recent times though. But we, from what we reading, we can see that we had almanacs here already.
That's
And
right.
they try to tell, oh, Benjamin Banneker, oh, he was descendants of the Dogons in Africa. No, he wasn't. He was descendants of Aborigines that was already here. So, I mean, I guess this is a little glimpse of it.
Yep.
This this is it right here.
The Mayan
Um,
calendar.
What's the calendar, y'all? So, like I said, man, they ain't create nothing. Nothing here they created. Everything here they got from us. Okay, so we got
Right.
and it's really sickening, man. It's sickening that like I said, nobody's doing this. People showing you images and keep reading the same thing over and over again. No one is trying to really go in depth and try to show people the culture of what was going over here. I mean, for the most part, I know it's a lot of brothers that do touch on certain things like Caremion and the brother medicine man, but for the most part, man, definitely, man, I hope people appreciate this, man, because like I said, man, we really trying to get in here. We can be doing anything on a Friday night. You know what I'm saying? I could be fucking thumb wrestling with a midget from fucking Venezuela or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can be doing anything right now. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we up here trying to get this information. So I definitely hope you appreciate it because this is telling you stuff they telling you came from Kemet. Ain't none of this stuff came over here with the slaves. They telling you this stuff predates all that stuff. So you have to start now scratching your head because when we start getting down, you're going to start seeing some other stuff that's going to be kind of that's going to be a coincidence. So we got camouflage. Y'all know what camouflaging is. They already told you that we was the best at guerrilla warfare, and you know that from the Seminoles. I don't think I need to touch on this unless one of you brothers got something especially you want to touch on this about. If
Nah,
not,
nah, nah.
we got
Nah.
canals and irrigation systems. So when we get down, we're definitely gonna touch on irrigation systems. We got canals and shipping. All right, so I just read this little first. It say the Aztec dredged canals through the Chinapis or artificial islands. It say on which they grew food and crops. It say and flowers. This dreading allowed canoe bearing heavily load. No, I'm sorry, canoe bearing heavy loads to pass through the water surrounding the rise bed. So this tell you right here. So it say see agriculture and rise bed and trade. All right. So we could keep it moving on that. Canoes. We already I gave an idea that we invented canoes. But if anybody have anything y'all want to touch on this,
Yeah,
pre-contact.
I'm gonna touch on carpenter techniques created 3000 BC.
All right, let's go.
Indians throughout North, Meso, and South America found many innovation ways to construct homes of wood. For example, indigenous builders in the Amazon jungles of South America used cashew wood for home construction because it repelled termites and other damaging insects. They joined the wood together with vines that, when dry, created a stronger bond than nails at last up to 20 years, standing in humidity of the tropics. So the nails were so strong, the calcium would take longer time to eat up and erode at the nails, even in the wet conditions in the Amazon. So, they had superior carpenter techniques. Northwest Pacific Coast tribes of North America are noted for their beautiful homes and craftsmanship that went into the construction of the dwelling of the building materials of choice at Red Sea. So I ain't gonna get into all that too much, but yeah, that's a little bit of carpenter. We got caramel corn, and it talks about the American Indians living in what is now New England, dip popcorn and peanuts into maple syrup to make a snack food similar to crab. The Chippewa and other tribes of the present day Great Lakes regions made of the similar product. Anthropologists believe that the Pihican or some of them saved through the winters in case the weather got too bad. Game scarce, so that's pretty much what they did with the corn.
Damn. So basically we created Cracker Jacks. Y'all know what Cracker Jacks is? The little box with the song and the dog, and you get the prize out of it. Like I said, man, as you see, these devils ain't create nothing. And like I said, the more and more I do history, the more and more I look at these people, I kind of feel sorry for them because they don't have no history. Everything that they claim they created, they stole from you. And then they sent them around, like I said, they sent them around the world to the rest of the people and then helped them get established. And then, the rest is history. So, man, we can keep it moving on that. Like I said, we're going to rock out cardiac medicine. Like cardiac medicine, dog bane, say foxglove, hemp, and American woohoo. I don't know exactly what that is, though, but let me see something real quick. It doesn't touch on it like I would like it to, but this is basically an idea of some of the carpentry and well-constructed homes. This is the second one that we was able to see. Like I said, man, this is a very interesting read, man. And like I said, man, I just hope people appreciate it, man. I mean, for the most part, people definitely show love, but this is real love right here. This is love.
For real, man. Like this is something, you know. I mean, I meant to say it earlier, man. People might really want to take notes just to have some stuff to pass down. You know what I'm saying to the young ones or to their friends or whoever, man. Just let you know, man, that everything we doing and everything we pretty much creating is what we know it's ours anyway. And I'm sitting up here, I'm already on Castle Road, man. I'm like, okay, should have known that anyway. You know what I'm saying?
But you see how that worked, though? I mean, like we told we ain't create nothing, bro. You told you wasn't shit but a fucking slave. Like, imagine that. They told you wasn't shit but a fucking slave. And today people come here just so let's just real quick. Let me just take a 1 minute break on this, right? So today people come here, they look at you, they think all we do is sell drugs and kill each other and make babies and everything else, right? When we got this unique history, and like I said, we probably here didn't create everything or whatever, but anytime it's in northeast, southeast, that's us. They talking about us that's here. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, they tell you ain't never create nothing. You was a fucking slave. And just remind people who just came in here, if you want to really know what the Aborigines look like, here go your images right here. And like what I like to do is this. Real quick, real 3-second style, all right? We don't even need to go in. These are fucking black people, okay? If Brother Garfield and the rest of these retards and the rest of these people who come on here, if you can't see that this is American Indian and this is not, and then even right here, look, you even got better pictures. Where's these people at today? Parrots and shit. Where are these people at? This is us. You're classified as a damn African. While your culture is in front of you in plain fucking sight. And the shit is ridiculous, man. The shit make me very upset. Look at this. This is Paraguay. You see the little boy with a damn afro in his head, right? And look, we go further on, you see nothing but where is these fucking Indians at? I'm curious. Now look, even right here, just to let you know, so you'll see what the people look like. This is not an African. If I showed this picture to Amon Rosquad, or I don't even want to keep talking about them clowns, but just anybody who doubt this information, if I showed this picture up here that I got on the screen right here, and his brother in the middle, people be like, that's an African. Oh, that's an African. No, it's not. That's an indigenous Indian. And as you see, he got the same thing on as everything else, man. You see this lady right here? This says America. This look like one of my people. This doesn't look like no mongoloids. The people who look like this have been classified as Africans. So like I said, man, people need to really do their research, man. And I'm just tired of I make these videos, man. Like, look at this. This is, like I said, this is in Virginia Historical Society. You see this? Show me an Indian to look like this, and I'm going to tell you that that's the African American, aka Aborigine. Okay? So, like I said, let's get back to it, man. Just to let you know, I do have these pulled up, just in case if you want to know what the Indians look like. This will give you an idea. This will give you an idea. And we got plenty of the images. Look, everywhere I click, all you see is Negroes. Everywhere I click, all you see is Negroes, okay? So, don't let them hide your history. We need to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, this shit gets go on and on and on. These Europeans came here, took everything, and now they running around here talking about you ain't contribute nothing to nothing except being a slave. You see this? This is Virginia. Okay? Let's get back into the video though, man. All right, so where we was at? Now, we know what cashews is. We already know most of the nuts and beans was already found in Americas. Just stop me, fellas, when y'all want to casseroles. Y'all already know what casseroles is. A dish basically with meat cooked sauce. All right. Cataract removal. Somebody want to touch on this real quick? If not, I'll touch on it. I'll just read a little bit of it. Let me see, where AP at? AP. Oh, y'all got your mic muted. Let's get with it then. Let's get with it. This is something this is something that people doing today. And remember, Patricia Bath. Patricia Bath is the one that created the glaucoma machine. The glaucoma machine was a laser technology in which I believe she created in the 70s or the early 60s. And they said when she made this invention, she instantly helped, what they said, 200,000 people restore their sight just like that. So let's keep it. Let's talk about this. All right. Go ahead, AP.
Yeah, tools to get rid of your cataract.
Go ahead. AP got it, or you? Oh.
Go ahead, Jag. Go ahead, Jag. You got it.
All right. Then cataract removal. All right, they go that AD 1100, man. I done seen that date so much now. I know that's just Aztec. That's whenever you see AD 1100, that's just Aztec. Mesoamerican cultures, cataracts, which are caused by the aging process, cloud the lens of the eyes. Left untreated, this condition can lead to partial or total blindness. The surgical removal of cataracts from the eyes was one of the more remarkable pre-Columbian medical procedures. Aztec physicians used small, thin pieces of obsidian flint as scalpels. These were extremely sharp and were called eat eatsli and Nahuatl or Nahuatl. The Aztec language. Anthropologist Harold Driver and Indians of North America described the ancient practice of cataract surgery as removing growth and white of opacities from the eye. The Aztec Empire was established about AD 1100 in Mesoamerica. Okay, so yeah, it's giving
And you
it to
see, like, you see the source. Look at one of the sources for that. The source is New Brunswick, New Jersey, Rutgers University Press. All right. So, like I said, thank you, my brother. Let's keep it moving. But that, yo, like I said, this stuff is epic, man. Because, like I said, man, your ass supposed to be a slave. They told you you ain't known for making shit. You know what I'm saying? Except being a damn slave. When all this stuff they got from this country, they got from you. Everything, everything. Okay. I like. Well, you got cayenne pepper right here. Y'all already know cayenne pepper. Just for the people who don't know, cayenne pepper stop a heart attack or a stroke. All right, so this is something that's definitely good. As far as like I was telling AP before we started, cayenne pepper, what's good for, it's a catalyst for other herbs. Plus, what it does, it take blood to places that blood has stopped. So,
right.
like when a person gets something like frostbite, you know how people frostbite, you see their hands black. If they take cayenne pepper therapy, it will restore the tissues back in their hands, man. Now, I've seen this. I've seen this as a herbalist and as a naturopath. I've seen this. All right, let's keep it moving. You see, cedar, shingle, and siding. We seen that in carpentry.
Right.
Sensors. Do anybody want to touch on the sensors?
Go ahead and I'll go in right after you on a few other things.
You want to touch on that, J.O.?
Yeah, I got it.
Get it.
Census calculated AD 1000, which I'm pretty sure they're talking about the Inca, South American, and then cultures. In order to be able to manage their meat eye or work tax system, the Inca, whose empire was established in what is now Peru, needed to know their exact population. As new territory was brought under their rule, they conducted periodic censuses so that work tax levies or mita could be modified to meet changing demographics. Each year, the Inca gathered vital statistics on their population to determine who was widowed, who was poor, and who could not pay taxes. The annual census was also used to determine manpower available for defense of the villages. Census records were gathered using the quipu, a counting and record keeping device that utilized a sensor of knots tied on colored strings to store information. Now, I just want to say that, you know, I know that this stuff seems like a long time ago, but when the more we really go into this and the more I really think about and how I'm seeing all this, man, it's still Johnny come lately stuff, man. Like this stuff is like this is like this that like that's like it's nothing, man. Like half this stuff is pre-contact, like as far as the medicine side and healing and really fighting and everything, weapons and stuff. But you talking about actually doing a census in the time of the Incas, so a civilization completely of recording everything and people and having great ecology and astronomy, Man, we gotta be millions of years old, man. I'm just throwing it out there, man. I don't care what nobody say, science or whatever, man. Nature tells it all. It is what it is.
Bro, this right here, this is beyond the cooler talk at the job right here, man. This is talk that when you hear people talking and saying that what accommodations, you never credit nothing to the world. We credit everything to the world. And this ain't come from the other side of the planet like we've been told. Oh, Africa started everything. This shit right here in America, y'all. This is right here. This is why I was compelled to do this, because this is what we do. You understand? So we got chewing gum right here. We don't need to really go on that. We know chewing gum. Come on now. I mean, Bubblicious,
That's
fucking
pre-contact.
Trident. Man, that's pre-contact, man. You understand what I'm saying? And they telling you that they have people which, man, look, man, this, like I said, when you read this stuff, man, this shit, man, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's really enlightening, man. It make you definitely feel good about yourself. So I'm down. I'm moving
It,
down to
it, it
page.
really it really do, man. So we giving you a lot of shit that maybe you thought that we did, or maybe we had speculation, but now we're giving you the sources to a lot of shit that you can take pride in. And so, we just moving on to the powerful shit. I'm gonna go in on chisels if you don't mind.
Where you at? Hold
Chisels,
up. Hold up.
metal
Hold up.
chisels. But I ain't gonna skip up a few things, so I'm gonna
No, it
talk about
wasn't.
a few.
It wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing up there. I ain't see nothing words you talking about. But
Like
just real, we see potato
chili,
chips.
yeah,
We see them.
chilies, potato chips.
Now
Now
we know
right here
all
with
that. We
chili.
know chilies and we know peppers and stuff like that is indigenous to Americas, man. As
Yeah,
well as
well,
like
yeah, man, definitely, definitely. All that shit, we know that, what I'm saying? But yeah,
let's
and
go on
it
that chisel thing though. That's deep. I'm looking at that shit right now.
yeah, chisels 5,000 years ago, 5,000 BCE, excuse me, to 4,000 BCE, which is approximately 7 to 6,000 years ago. A chisel is a tool that has a sharp belayed edge, which is used to shape wood, metal, or stone. The first metal chisels appeared in North America approximately 6,000 to 7,000 years ago. In North America, Great Lake area in present-day Wisconsin, the Paleo Indians produced copper implements and tools. One of which a chisel. Once the chisel was made, it was placed in a fire and then allowed to cool. This caused the copper to harden and then state it was capable of chiseling harder substances. Then it could be natural state. I mean, oh yeah, in its natural state. So let's go up and read a little more. Sorry. Oh, that was it on that. My bad.
Don't worry about it. It's all good, my brother. Shit, this is like I
But
said,
yeah,
man.
that's it on that, man.
We need to get everything we can get off this, bro, because like I said, this is definitely some amazing work right here. And I'm glad that, like I said, the brother Jadwalk Omet brought this. This is good research. We got cigarettes right here. We already know that
That
according
thing
to
pre-contact though.
huh?
Cigarette.
Yeah. But you know what though? When you read John, well, this going back further. So this is not, but when you read John Hawkins and Sir Walter Raleigh, they tell you they knew nothing about tobacco around the world. That's why New Amsterdam got pipe shops, because the people in Amsterdam came here. Now, when New Amsterdam, remember that was in New York. That was
Right.
the Dutch. So the Dutch came there and seen the people in New York smoking. As well as they did go, the Dutch did go to Brazil too, but the Dutch came in New York. That's why it was called New Amsterdam first. Then it was taken over by the Dutch of the Duke of York or whatever, and he later called it New York. But it's telling you the Dutch was already, they already knew about it. But nonetheless, though, we got rolling shredded tobacco and paper is similar material produced cigarettes. It say when Herman Cortez invaded Mexico in 1519, he said he found Aztecs smoking perfume red reed cigarettes. Before banquets, Aztec dinner guests were presented with a smoking tool containing tobacco. According to earlier accounts of such feasts, the Moctezuma, you know what Montezuma looked like? He was a Negro. The Aztec emperor at the time of the conquest. Cigarette smoking was a ritual event. The tubes were said to represent the warrior darts. All right, so I ain't got to go no further. People who smoke. It's just so ironic that my people smoke black and mild, and we smoke all these tobacco stuff because that shit is in your DNA. That is what you was doing when these people found you here. Now, understand this: the tobacco we smoking now is it has all these chemicals and stuff in it. It's not the same tobacco that was basically just picked and we let it dry and then we crushed it up and rolled it up and or put it in the pipe or something. So it's not the same thing, but you still have that urge for it because it's in your DNA. So that's who we be. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, and it goes on and on and on with this, man. I told I was gonna stop it at 1 o'clock. We can stop it right here on civic centers.
Right.
Who want to touch on this real quick?
Go on, bring us on out, Jaguar. Go on, close us out, big bro.
Word, man. Appreciate it, man. I close it on out, man. Civic centers, man, which is major because right above it, it was cities. They was counting 12,000 BC, but they got civic centers pre-contact. So we finna see how it works, man. Mesoamerican, South American, and then North American, Southeast, and Southwest cultures. All right. Many population centers throughout the pre-Columbian Americas were arranged around a main plaza or civic center. Often these plazas were laid out based on astronomical observations. The Olmec, the first great Mesoamerican civilization, which arose in about 1700 BC, constructed cities with ball courts in the center. Archaeologists believe that the civic centers flanked by pyramids, such as those located in the Aztec cities of Tenochtitlan or and Teotihuacan or Teotihuacan, were used primarily for ceremonial purposes. The Aztec culture arose in Mesoamerica in about AD 1100. Mississippian towns in North America were also arranged around a central plaza. The Grand Plaza at Cahokia, located in what is now southern Illinois, encompassed 40 acres and was surrounded by temples and the homes of leaders. Construction of Cahokia was begun in about AD 800. Compounds of dwellings around surrounded smaller community plazas scattered throughout the site. The Natchez, another mound building Mississippian people culture began about 1500 BC and flourished from AD 900 to AD 1250 in the North American South and Lower Midwest. Plazas were also an integral part of North American southwestern cities. Anasazi builders who constructed Pueblo, Bonito, and the other multi-story adobe buildings in Chaco or Caco Canyon, located in what is now New Mexico, arranged them around large courtyards of today's Pueblo people. Lived in the North American Southwest starting in about 350 BC. They began to build cities filled with adobe apartments complexes in about AD 700. Mm.
Mm,
A more modern example of the civic center approach to urban living is that of the Creek, who lived in what are now Georgia, northern Florida, and the Carolinas. They built their wattle and Daoud dwellings around a civic plaza known as a square ground. It was here the residents held green corn ceremonies, and here where the village leaders met in the great council to decide community matters. In the summer, they would sit in the open, but in the winter, they gathered in a communal townhouses located near the square ground. They called these townhouses cacofas, round and with high cone-shaped roofs. The 30 to 60 feet in diameter. As many as 500 people could be seated on rows of raised platforms. These tiers resemble bleachers. In the wintertime, townhouses provided shelter for the elderly or people who found themselves without a place to live. The building of these community halls was a communal effort. According to a report by artist John McStanley, who traveled among the Creek in 1843, the town's spiritual leader made a model of the planned building and distributed the sticks he had used to construct it among residents. They were responsible for cutting the logs the twigs represented. The Yuki, Cherokee, and Chickasaw, who lived in North America's southeast, also constructed townhouses that served as the center of religious and governmental activities for the people in their villages. These, along with the plaza, were the central focus of the villages. In addition to the square ground, towns built by Southeast tribes typically featured a central field covered with fresh sand called the swept area. This served as a ball court and was used for games such as chunky and one that resembled field hockey, chunky or chunky, which was played throughout the Southeast and involved rolling a stone across a field and trying to hit it with a pole. The game the
Mm.
games were sometimes played to resolve disputes between towns and to make political alliances. Come
That's
on.
baseball. That's baseball, yo. That's baseball. That's baseball. Real talk. And then, like you said, when even with that, man, damn, yo, and that's southeast, man. Remember when you talk about southeast, they talking about the south, man.
Right.
Right
They
there
talking
where
about
we
the
at.
south.
Yeah, B.
Exactly. Exactly. So, like I said, man, we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it there. This is part one. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll definitely come back tomorrow. Y'all are fine. Y'all know where we gonna be at though. But definitely, man. I like to thank these brothers. I definitely like to thank AP and Jaguar Omek for bringing it to the attention because, like I said, man, I don't always sit up here and act like I derive everything from thin air. I get sources, brothers put me on stuff too. So I like to put them on who put me on. I don't just sit up here. It's not about me, it's about the time, it's about the people. This is why I made this channel. I made this channel so it wasn't trying to really be, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, we doing this and we doing this. No, but at some point you gotta pat yourself on the back because I'm not learning this shit nowhere else. I'm
Exactly.
learning. I might read somewhere. Somebody might have a fucking clipping of one of this, but for somebody to sit here and go through everything, and then hopefully, you brothers, I'm quite sure y'all learned something.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
quite sure y'all. I mean, I learned something. I'm humbled by hearing this. So I'm not like, and we only want to see. We only want to see, and that's 3 hours.
Hey,
So, like I said, man, I like to thank y'all brothers, man. We're gonna definitely do this tomorrow. We're gonna do another one tomorrow. Just I wanted to keep the video short so people, because I know when we go too long, people be complaining about how long the videos is. So I guess we're gonna keep it short to where so people can go in and check all these parts out because this is your history. If you really want to
Right.
learn, you will know your culture. Okay, it's not okay. Well, we can't go back in the past, but guess what? When these things are mentioned, you can say my ancestors helped create that.
right.
Right.
So you'll know because you're told you was just a slave. You have no history. You didn't create shit.
Y'all
These
told that y'all
Europeans,
picked the cotton,
exactly. So
but they
when
but
you
they but they didn't tell you that y'all created and cultivated it.
that's right. And that's the yo, that's the most ridiculous shit, bro. Because like I said, bro, we could just take a lot of these and we could take a lot of these inventions that we made and things that we did to make time, I mean, to make things more simplified for us so we can get things done. Well, I mean, we could take this with the common, I mean, the stuff we made in the early 18, from the 1600s until now. Because we created a lot of stuff in this fucking country that they won't tell you about. A lot of stuff. The majority of stuff came from you. The evil and the whipping and the guns and all that shit came from them. But all of the stuff that they got, that they didn't create nothing. Now I see that they didn't create nothing. They didn't bring shit here except
Word.
except diseases. The only thing they brought here was diseases and fucking death. We already had culture and civilization. Now, just real quick, just for the ignorant people who don't understand this, this is what the people in the Americas look like. This is the American Indian, okay? Look, and look. See this? See more Negroes with Afro type haircuts. See this Negro right here behind it. You see this Negro right here with long dreadlocks. This is what the people look like. And you see that llama. Dig at that llama. You understand? So this is the Americas, okay? And it actually say Amsterdam. So I don't know if this was New York. I don't even know. I don't know if this was New York. I don't know, or if the Dutch came to this part of the region where this is at, though. But this is what the people look. And guess what? Every time I see this, I say this is a black person. Okay, this is not no Native American. This is not Tonto or them people that's out there in the desert. This is us. So, like I
Right.
said, I like to thank these brothers, man, for coming through, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything. They took everything from you, man, and left you with nothing. Left you with a bunch of lies and tells and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look at these people hairstyle. These are fucking afros, man. You understand? These are afro. I don't care what nobody. He got breastplates on. He got that cornucopia. Yo, man, they can't tell you nothing. They stole your history and took all claims for it. You understand? They took all claims for your history. Even
Hey,
this.
check that one out. AP. Shout out to Corey Mayo, man. Corey Mayo just dropped this thing right here, man.
Shout out to the brother Cormel. Beautiful work. Appreciate the brother videos, man. All of them. See this right here? This is the Iroquois. You see this? This say Wapanaki. Well, this is the Wapanaki. So I actually had something pulled up. This is the Iroquois, though. I was actually doing a video on the Shaw Saxon. The Saxon we know is what another word for king. Look at these people right here. These people look just like your damn family.
Right.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
That's
These
a
people don't
fact.
look like your family. These people don't look like your family members. So they faking. They're Africans that's faking to be Indians too. Come on, man. I mean, I ain't gonna, like I said, I ain't gonna make the video too long because I want people to be able to go back and really get an understanding. But like I said, we'll be back with part 2 tomorrow. All
Right.
right. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Like I said, this is gonna be a teaching lesson. I don't really want to do too much talking this because I want people to be able to come back and people can, you know what I'm saying, definitely, because we only want to see right now. So tomorrow, hopefully, we can get to at least, let me see.
F. At least F.
Nah, we gotta go further. At least we can go up to at least probably M, because it ain't like, I mean, in between I seen some stuff, but for the most part, once we get past this, we can really go on. We can probably go on to M. But like I said, man, I hope you guys appreciate this shit, man, because these brothers don't have to come in here and teach nothing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I wasn't going to do this without these brothers' permission because this brother put me on it. So I'm not going to take nobody information and lead them out or whatever just for some damn views, because this shit is not about, it's about the views for people to come here so they can learn, but it's also about giving the people who put you on the information credit. So with that being said, man, this is the conscious one, the brother Jaguar Olmec, my brother AP Power. Go and subscribe to the brother Jaguar Olmec channel, as well as the brother AP Power. I mean Aboriginal Power. So we're gonna end this video right now. Love and light to the Aborigines. This is your culture and your history, okay? And we sitting down reading it and breaking it down for you guys. So with that being said, we out. Y'all ain't gotta hang up because we can build after this, but we out of here for the most part. Peace.